We got opening face-off against the Moose. Huge turnover by Ernest. What the heck? We got a face-off win and then just who's the pass to? Anyways, doesn't matter because they give it over and Liam just goes in and scores. Pink. 1-0. So no assists by anyone, but a plus for everyone. We're playing defense here. They dump the puck in. It also leads up to a penalty by the other team, but let's kind of like break it down. I think in general we were fine. So Dave's putting pressure on the menace. Number 12, number 13, I don't quite remember. The lady that every time you get near her, she'll elbow you or something. But anyways, we're keeping them to the outside. That's really all that's important. Part 2 to that is we just got to make sure that we stay near the players that these passes will go to. And as long as that's kind of done, it's fine. But pass up and then boom, big hit right there. So like pizza delivery service perhaps versus, you know, a little maybe bounce pass up for Justin. We wanted to go this way. Sure, no problem. A little sketchy, and then spaghetti-o. Looked like neon knee perhaps. That looks actually potentially scary. Luckily no one got hurt. Watch it one more time. Yeah, definitely could be scary for both players really. But got a little penalty there. And I think they touch it, so we are off to a power play. So let's watch the whole power play. I don't remember it being very good, but we can kind of make some notes of it. 2 minutes. Face off win out to Eng. Definitely once that pass goes up to here and he's going this way, I would prefer someone starts shifting this way so that there's a pass down to the half wall rather than staying kind of down there. Now I think he probably should just huck it down low and make their forwards work for it. It obviously we need a grind for it, but the problem was he backed it, but the aim was a little bit off, so it ended up coming out of the zone. So not great. And then this part sucks where we turn around and the player was jumped ahead of Kev. Obviously a blind pass is not bueno, but I guess getting a turnover right in our zone would also be kind of scary. So I think option 2 to be on the real safe side is bring it all the way back to behind the net and then go up with everyone with speed rather than this. So we got some trouble, but I think it ended up being kind of okay. So nothing's clean so far, but we do have the puck in the zone. So let's kind of see how this boils down. Puck's behind the net. Sarah has it. And then throws that out front. A lot of battles. So one of the players intercepted it and tries to take it out. But I think Kev, whacks it. So gets control back. Slide across to Mike and in. And we get our power play goal. No plus minus for anyone, but we do get a goal assisted by Hilden. Unfortunately, Sarah does not get the assist as it got intercepted in between. I do think, in general, on a power play, we may want, like, we obviously scored off it, it worked. but it required a bit of a scramble and a little bit of like there's a lot of people down there. I do wonder if we want to keep possession a little bit longer and find better lanes towards the net, but obviously I'm just nitpicking here because we did score, so yeah. So I'll always be the fan of D to D passing, and this is just perfect demonstration of it. So going back, face off win back, and Eng has it, and there's immediate kind of pressure on him. It's not super crazy at the moment, but it's pretty obvious. Pass across, and then we can already see everyone shifting this way. And yeah, one option is perhaps a bump up. Getting it to Liam might be a little bit tough just because there's two people on him, and it's going to be a turnover. So we see, and then we see lots of people right here. Pass to Liam's probably trouble, and then we can open up, like I said, up to Justin. However, perhaps this might be a little bit of a risk. So we say, hey, let's keep it simple. No need to rush anything. Let's send it across now, immediately. You can see how just those two passes open up all this space, and we have room to operate with. And so doing that, it's true that these forwards are pressuring, but there's space, right, to operate with, versus if we kind of rewind a little bit behind, there's not as much pressure going on there. So, and this allows just simple rerouting for the center to go to the right, now come back to the left, easy peasy. Now I think there are some notes maybe for our wingers, like how can they get open more is, I guess, one of the questions. Let's not do the offensive zone at this moment. So what I would like to think about is almost as if the winger can do the same. You're just going to be cutting. Well, let's take this ice in half. You're going to be finding pathways here, and it's going to be. It tends to be easier if you skate towards the puck carrier in some manner, and then you can find some laneways that way. So right here, if you start it early, just going like this will do the trick, I think. So maybe a little bit earlier will do the trick, but kind of the same thought. And then with Justin, probably a slight cut across will do the trick. So what I think you would want to do for Justin is the moment, boom, this pops across, you almost just come down, touch up that blue line, and then maybe come up like this. So when you do that, this portion you'll be able to catch the passes, right? You'll be facing the puck, and it's easy enough. And anytime you receive it, you just turn up ice. And then as Ang moves across, then you just cut across. So it's going to be a little bit of a train with Liam cutting across. So it's almost like he comes like this, you come behind, and then we could mix it up with be cutting across like that. What's important is you're almost going to be wanting to form little mini triangles. So a mix of depth, a mix of width will do the trick. And yeah, I find it so funny. So Mike's center, and he is fantastic on the forecheck and a one-man machine to get a goal every game. But when it comes to defensive responsibility, he likes to pick a lot of cherries. So still a work in progress for Ernest. He gets that gap control settled down. Um, like he goes all the way back to the red line before turning and pivoting. Probably want to just pivot a little bit early and then just start your backward skating. Maybe pivot right here. Say, come back, pivot. Yeah, that's true. There is that person right behind that's a little scary. But certainly don't want to skate all the way back into the zone before pivoting. Alright, talking about poor decision making, I got some right here. So, little chip up to Hilton, terrible. Put him like absolutely handcuffed him. And then we're getting like shut down on this right side of the ice. Really sucks. And it's nice to see our center off to the cherry farm. But let's kind of rewind a little bit. What can we do better? At least what I think would really just cut down the problems is I received the puck. Option 1, just skate it back behind the net myself. Option 2, just a ring around, right? It's going to be a foot race with the advantage going to be to the D partner. Obviously, there is going to be a forward that's chasing straight after him, but there's going to be a slight advantage. So instead of the 50-50, we'll call it 60-40, right? And that's immediately going to cut down all the pressure. And then what we would probably want to see is our center just looping down, ready for to help him out and get a pass out, and then Melissa will just come out to the boards and easy peasy. So now part 2 to that equation, once the puck is here, I think ideally we would have also wanted to see that center looping up close, finding this little space right here, so pass out would do the trick. Let's kind of see how. Yeah, the pass up, terrible. I think my idea was to bounce it off the boards, but it hit Kev's shin guard and stayed in the zone, so tough. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the idea was to bounce it off the boards up to our the picking of fruits, but didn't quite work out, so yeah, bad decisions. So I thought this sequence was kind of funny. Stop up Liam on the board, I guess on the wall, pass out, but in the feet. And then we skip maybe 20-30 seconds. Might as well just watch the whole thing. Another rush up the ice. And then here comes our trailers. And then in the feet. So I do kind of want to point this out, and I think there's a couple ways we can combat it if you ever get like pucks into your feet. It is, I guess, one part of it is going to be a skill to work on, where if you can kick it up, that's like fine, and you're going to work towards puck receiving, and it's like to the point where there is never going to be a bad pass. But let's skip back to here. One of the things I think you can do is, well, one is pivot, and then the other one is maybe not in the case of Justin, but maybe more in the case for Fee. Let's skip. Is when you see a puck like this, rather than her trajectory coming like this, is immediately start turning in towards it. So then it'll be just on your forehand. So you see how she just waits for it to slowly get to her. Whereas I think if she was more proactive, it will she'll get the puck. So you can see how right here, boom, immediately cut, and then receive, and then cut back in. But yeah. But alright, so sequence leading up is now going to be a goal against, so let's kind of break it down. Easy zone entry again. Similar problem with Ernest. You see how he skates all the way back and then pivots until he's all the way at this red line. He's got to pivot a little bit earlier to at least try to slow them down on the entry. He breaks up the play here and tosses it out, but they keep it in because our forwards are a little bit slow coming back, going for the change. Right, so they're already in the zone and then they peel off. Gotta do that a little bit earlier. Anyways, Ernest loses the puck. We got big trouble. Big trouble. 3 forwards in front of lots of Tumblebees. So Dave's doing his best to shut up that back door and gotta give Cliff the save as best as we can. Unfortunately for him, it's sniped in and goal again. So the other question mark is who gets the plus minus. It looks like in technicality terms it is Hillsden that gets it because he's on the ice as that goal is in. But depends. How do we treat it? You guys tell me. In the end of the case, it is minus against mistakes. I would say, yeah, one is giving them that free zone entry, but even so, it's an odd man rush. We're going for a change, kind of awkward for them to defend. And you see how Fionn is really covering nobody at this moment. So it's basically one personnel that's not really helping out to the cause. One's going for a change, and then one's just came on the bench. So our 2 defenders are left on Lonely Island. Got a lot of players out there, so not much we can break down other than they have been left for dead. So here's another one. I feel like I can be harsh on Kev, where he gets the rush and all that, but he makes the fancy moves and then tucks it across the ice. Again, I feel like lost opportunities to control the pace. Mike's protecting the puck. Ugh. Okay. There's a lot to break down here. Positionally, don't really like it. So number one, I didn't quite like how Kev tries to try to, I guess, one-man show in. Sure, maybe it works, and then toe drag shot. But I feel like there was an opportunity to really dictate the pace, get it in the zone. Maybe even drive wide in and find some lane passes. And then I think part 2 is wasn't as huge of a fan with that. Maybe there's a lot of pressure over there, so it's not the worst, right? A lot of players just get it over on the other side. That's fine. That's not as bad as I make it out. So right here, Mike gets it. And then Fee goes from a helping position to a not so helping position. Like, why? So like, where's Mike gonna pass to? It's a tough situation right there, and I think obviously there are some opportunities here. There's some opportunities here for a pass, like to get in an open spot, and obviously I would have liked someone down low for him to be able to pass through if needed. But yeah, eventually Kev gets there, and you see how they're all watching here. This is a opportunity for Ernest as the weak side D to sneak in right here. If it's not that, I like this as well, just because it's a passing opportunity, but this one's a nice backdoor option. But where Ernest is standing is kind of garbage, honestly, because we got to cut through this person. And obviously not a lot of help for Mike, and eventually he has to huck it down. There's that backdoor play. It kind of worked out almost, but like he had to one-man show it rather than having a little bit of extra help. So yeah, So we got this play up here. Dave trying to probably pass it to Kev and gets deflected, and then Ernest comes charging in. Boom! Gets decimated with the elbow out into his head. Gets spun around. Puck's at his feet. Doesn't know what to do and gets shoved over. Just getting absolutely abused out there on the ice. Let's watch one more time. Boom! A little breakout situation going on here. Namely, I wanted to take a look at. Just pay attention one more second here. Number one, big cutting opportunities right here for Justin. But okay, let's continue. And then right here, I guess it's not terrible. Again, I think, maybe pace control with the forwards. We got our straight line formation, rather some form of triangle is gonna need to be more effective. Whether that means Justin, like, what could I suggest as some adjustments? Perhaps Melissa comes trailing behind Liam as he's coming in, and then Justin cuts across. So that's triangles situation going on. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's all dynamic, but and then this one, I remember pretty clearly. Their menace. I stopped her, but then she comes in and absolutely butt ends me right in the rib. I was like, damn, shit, that shit hurts more than I thought it would be with my chest protector. So, interesting stuff. Got some more highlights of the menace coming up. Here comes the boom, flying elbow. Going back down, but here comes the true highlight. So, Aang gets the puck, goes across to the left side. Absolutely pinned up against the boards. Tied up, falls down. Good stuff. Really good stuff. We got a goal leading up. Big chance by their team. They did not score. And we get a hard rim across from Dave to Kev. Sends it way across. Could have been a pizza. But today, not today. Jared comes in, dumps it down low. Little touch pass from Kev to Mike. Should have been a penalty because it's Mike's second goal. But we get Sarah's first assist to Kev, out to Mike for a plus. Alright, face-off win all the way back. Mistakes were made gathering up. I thought it looked open, but it was not. So a pizza delivery was made today. Yikes. Shot on net. Big trouble. But defensively, more disasters were made. So let's break it down. So, breakout, what I would have liked to see. Number one, probably should have just taken it behind the net. And number two, passed over to Aang, made the most sense. But wingers, you know, I like to have a wide option. Number one, and then Fee probably getting back faster would do the trick. But you know, that doesn't matter. Pizza delivery was made, so that part, number one, big mistake. Number two, now defensively, we're all over the place. Fee is not covering number two, so that's number one, big problem. Big problem number one. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O, we are in trouble. So now, Aang is going up, but we are on the wrong side of the ice. Right? trying to cover up the front. So center, left, and right D are on the wrong side of the ice to cover these three remaining forwards. And what makes matters even worse is Aang is getting pulled off, so we're going to be on a huge numbers disadvantage because if he is behind the play. And so we try to tie up 10, but huge numbers disadvantage over here, and just bang home easy tap in for the other team. So tough situation. A lot of mistakes made into the second period, which results in the second goal against. Now he almost got another goal scored against us, but Cliff makes a big save. Probably a little bit too much dilly-dallying on that blue line. I get it, trying to wait for everyone to tag up, but I don't know. I wonder if a dump down is going to be the play. And then the huge fan is the big disaster. Even then, I think that was I don't know, hard to say. Maybe the idea was trying to get it back this way, but how does this? Yeah, pretty ugly, right? And then the big cut across, boom, love save. So we got bailed out hard right there. So we have just unlocked another secret from Justin. Look at this. Oh man. We've now learned that this guy can pivot. But this is just disaster. Straight up disaster. Oh my gosh. Cliff bails us out again. Let's watch that one more time. Oh man. Ugh. And here we see the second penalty from the Moose, which results in our power play. Big trip on Justin. Alright, so let's watch the power play in all its glory. Okay, sends it back down low. Sarah and Mike doing some work to keep it down there. But they send it out. Alright. Ooh, a post. Okay. Puck movement's better. That's a good chance right there. I like it. Yeah, I wouldn't pick too hard on this one. Offside. And do we get any more time? 15 seconds left. Let's see what we got. Okay. I think penalty's over, yep. But yeah, turnover. Not much. Exactly. I think puck movement was maybe a little bit better. Got a couple chances, but nothing too noteworthy. Here's another victim of the menace. Young comes in, boom, poke check, absolutely. Got the elbows out. Boom. Uh-oh. Ah, out of the zone. Alright, I think this shift we were stuck in the zone for a little while. So let's break it down. There's also a little funny period where puck was in the Menace's feet and they're trying to dig it out, and eventually she just falls and flails around. It was really funny. It's like, ah, should have been a penalty. Nonetheless, puck is still in the zone. Our wingers are nowhere near the D. Very interesting. They just what happened? I remember they took out my stick. Yeah, I have no idea. Probably caught on some people's bodies. Still stuck in the zone. Still stuck in the zone. And finally get it out. I think a lot of it is with our, let's kind of see, like the wingers are not staying close enough to the D to so we're not giving them, like, we're giving them too much space to operate with is one. And then like you see how they step in a lot, and so they're not staying with them, I think, is one problem. Which like results in the extra zone time. But yeah, we got a big chance right here, but it was pretty humorous, so let's kind of break it down. Draw pass, toe drag, hits the post. Ernest is like, don't worry, I got it. And it goes past him, and we are in trouble. Nope, we are no longer in trouble. And now we see the penalty that Eng had. Boom! Tripping penalty. Yeah, fair enough. And so we are on the penalty kill. Let's go watch it. Any notes that we can make? Shot on net, glove save. We'll skip ahead. Clear it out. Yep. Keep it deep. Right. Skip ahead. Skip ahead. Shot on net. Easy peasy. Go for the face off. Skip ahead. Waste some time. I like it. I like it. Oh, that's a really nice tip. So, problems. A little bit late to tying up the stick. And so, results on a chance on net. Skip ahead, 14 seconds left. Shot on net, tip chance. And out. Penalty kill, not much to say there. I think it was fine. Cool. I feel like I'm getting bamboozled by my wingers. We got concrete skates going on here. What's going on? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright, we got an interesting sequence right here. Tough situation. Doesn't seem like our wingers are in good position for breakout. Maybe Dave could probably bounce it up the boards to Melissa, but obviously he's right hand shot on the left side. Tough situation. Pass across. And then, I mean, I guess he could have gone to Liam maybe, but yeah, we got sticks flying everywhere. I don't know what's going on with number 3 down there. Probably got him good, and then Liam lost his stick somehow. Let's take a look. Lost it, and then uh-oh, Spaghetti-O. We still got the puck in the zone. Uh-oh. Oh my god, Cliff Mix bails Ernest out. So what's the problem Well, we want to stay typically between the puck and the net, and Ernest decided go more towards the goal line than between the net, and though so he got walked a little bit there. Let's continue. Pucks it out and ices it. Yeah, that's fine. Period's over then. So at this point, Mike and Dave swapped. So Dave's playing winger and Mike is on D. And we see Sarah has the first banana peel of the Tumblebees. Ooh. But I wanted to highlight that because I think later on we have a too many men on the ice penalty as a result of this. But let us watch. Looked like a big scramble down there. Here we go. Oh, just a little too ahead of Dave. Let's stop the clip here. Alright, so here's interesting. Mike gets it, passes it off to Ernest, passes it up. They get it up, luckily. And Dave powers through with the puck. And so our D is changing, and I have no idea why Justin's hopping on the ice. You can see the problem, right? We got 3 forwards on the ice. Justin's hopping on. Why? I don't know. We got really lucky though. Pass from Kev to Dave, one-timer. Fee whacks at it, but the final whack was Hilson, so Dave to Fee to Hilson is the points, and we really got away with having too many men on the ice. Craziness, absolute craziness. Yeah, I didn't want to make a note. Positional mistake is, you see how Fee is on the left side of this player, but she's right-handed. So in order to stop her, she has to reach around. Terrible positioning. So, because you can't do anything. She should be on the right side so that she can stick lift her forehand. That's number 1. Let's continue watching. So Fee's coming down, and so she leaves 16 unattended. And yeah, now she's as a winger behind. Number 1, we got a winger behind the net, and then the other one is in the corner. A little bit awkward for sure defensively, but I guess we are able to keep the puck out, so no complaints. Let's continue watching. Okay. Whew. Yeah. Our winger positioning defensively was a common theme this game. To be blunt. Alright, we're about to witness Mike decimating a poor lady. Gets the puck. Boom! Knocks her down. There is the argument that he touched puck first, but I don't think that really matters. Because, for example, let's say you're charging at the puck and you just take out a player, it's still a hit, right? So it's a body, it's a penalty. Alright, let's just watch the penalty kill. I'll skip as much as I can so we can save some time. Skip, 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 skip. Ooh, quick, speed. Let's see what we got. Killing the time, and he did say he forgot that we're on a penalty kill. And the numbers disadvantage is scary, but we got some time to sort it out. Tries to clear it out, that's fine. There we go. Let's skip, skip, skip. Nice. Skip again. Killing some more time really is just the name of the game. Make them skate for it, make them tired. So if we can make them tired, then, you know, the power play is not quite as effective because they'll be gassed. So this one was a little scary. I think there was maybe a little defensive mistake. Probably needed to cover 4 and just leave 15 free, but it was a little slow to getting there. So 3 on 2 is just tough for sure. Skip ahead, we got another clear. Go for a line change, fair enough. Nothing crazy positioning. They weren't moving the puck around in the zone, so we don't need to worry about that. Again, just basic penalty kill procedure is really just trying to clog up the slot as best as we can. Everything else is kind of not as important. So there we go. Pretty simple stuff. I don't think, yeah, penalty is over, so we are good to go. So this got a little scary. Don't know what happened. Ernest chips it up. Our winger is not there. And then in front of the net, and oh boy, Spaghetti-O. Almost. Scary. Our last 1 minute 30 of the period left. Bucket shot in. Oh my god. Right click. And a chip out. Here comes the awkward thing. So Mike's coming off, but Eng is getting too excited and hops on early, and Mike's getting caught behind the ref, and now they call too many men on the ice. Well-deserved penalty, gotta admit. And so we gotta play on the penalty kill in the last minute. So let's watch it. Yeah. So shot on net. Wait, what's going on? Oh, hit the netting. Yeah, okay, cool. Oh my gosh. So, you know what? Ernest's positioning is okay. I won't give him too much flack for that. Okay, box up. Yeah, that's fine. Again, we're just trying to clog up the middle as best we can. Yep. Oh, actually, our penalty kill is not too bad. Not bad at all. Let's skip ahead. We got 13 seconds left. Sarah killing time. Does a good job at it. 7. Clog up the middle. Yeah, block shot. Does the job. Alright, so that's game over. A couple common themes. Wingers defensively, not covering the D. I think, again, we have some wasted opportunities with forcing the passes into the middle. And there was one more thing. Let me find some example clips if I can. Alright, I'm too lazy to find clips, but essentially what we see is, let's say everyone is moving up together on the ice. One of the things we want to start to implement is a little bit of space and depth modulation. So I have talked about, in general, I'm a fan of keeping players nice and wide. We make use of the width on the breakout, but as the puck moves up, right, we don't want to be straight line across the whole way up. So what does that mean? So we may want to slow down, speed up, and so that we are essentially going to be forming mini triangles as we move up together, whether that just means crisscrossing, cutting, and so forth. That is going to be the general theme. I don't want to break it down too much detail, but it's something you want to keep in mind moving forward, and then we can break it down in future reviews.